What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Josh Different.
Okay, so you've done some research and figured out that the person you're with most likely has borderline personality disorder. But maybe you're also starting to wonder if her condition might be even worse than you originally thought. Do you get the sense that she really has no ethics, morals, or empathy, even though she can talk a good talk? Does she almost always seem to get off on hurting you or hurting other people? Do you feel like you're constantly being manipulated, deceived, exploited, dominated, or downright bullied? If so, you may be dealing with someone who has borderline personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder, which is an incredibly toxic combo. These diagnoses, you will suffer major psychological damage.
This is my second channel actually, Josh Different Perspective, but I haven't posted on this channel in I think 11 months, but I got some videos that are uploading right now. I got 3 different videos that are uploading. So it's 2 days after Christmas, and I was on, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was on YouTube, and I was just scrolling through, and I haven't been on this channel in a while, but some videos popped back up on my recommended page of people who dated borderline personality disordered individuals, which I have, and I just wanted to share my perspective on it and just my thoughts and my experience. So
leave a massive hole in your heart, leave you with so much confusion that is so deep your head will be spinning for months, years, maybe even for the rest of your life. I'm Lise LeBlanc. Today I'm talking about 10 signs that your partner
might have both borderline and antisocial personality disorder.
About over a year ago, actually, it was so it's December now, it's a couple days before the New Year's. Christmas was 2 days ago. It's the 27th because it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and Christmas was 25th, obviously. But so last August, so a year and 3 months ago, I dated a partner that I also went to high school with. I dated a partner. It's funny because I didn't talk to this person in high school. But after high school, I decided to talk to them. So anyway, let's start the story. So, this person was somebody who went to my school. And when I decided to hit them up, it was actually a joke. So I was hanging out with some of my friends back in my hometown. I was hanging out with some of my friends. And I was just messaging random people. So during that time, let's be honest, I was super depressed. But I was making good money, and I was depressed. But now looking back, after going to therapy, after learning things about my family, which you can see that in the videos, the past videos that I posted on here, talking about the narcissistic family scapegoat, and just waking up to certain things in my life. I didn't realize how depressed I was then, because everybody around me was depressed, and everybody in my hometown and my family and even my ex's family and stuff, everybody suffered from mental illness to some degree, or everybody would normalize mental illness or depression or anxiety like it was just like drinking water, you know what I'm saying? It was never a thing where it's we can get over this, we can get past this. It was more so everybody would say, including my ex, including my mom, including the people that are around me, that's just how we are. That's just how it is. People are depressed. That's life. You know what I'm saying? It was never really a conversation of how do we fix this, or let's go to therapy. And I will say too, therapy doesn't fix everything, because I noticed that I had 3 different therapists. So I noticed that some therapists aren't very well educated on these certain topics, or they try to stay away from those certain topics. I feel like a lot of therapists just want to do their job in the sense, I'm not going to say a lot, I'm going to say some want to do their job in the sense of just keeping you coming back consistently in order for you to have conversations and conversations. But in regards to actually fixing the issues that you keep coming back for, I'm not sure if therapists are really Therapists are soundboards, but in regards to fixing issues or putting you in position to mentally tap out of the mental turmoil that you are in, most therapists are not here for that. And society won't tell you that because society is built off of money and greed and miscommunication, suppression, and control. That's just my perception of it. So a lot of these therapists are honestly not conducive or helpful when it comes to moving forward and tapping out of that mental turmoil. But let's get off that topic. So back to, dating the borderline. So how it started. So like I said, I messaged them as a joke, and at the time that I messaged them, they had a boyfriend, but I did not know that because they didn't post their boyfriend, and they didn't show that they had a relationship. So I just messaged them, and then they kind of went kind of fast. It was like, I was messaging multiple people, like as a joke. But like I said, I was at the park with my friends. I was super depressed. I hit up these people, and this person was very engaging. And then from my childhood, considering the fact that I'm the family scapegoat, I've always been like an oversharer, and that's what I'm still working on to this day. So I get into conversations talking about her situation, and she started talking about how her dad was, and I started talking about how my dad was, and stuff like that. And we kind of related in a sense, and it was crazy because, like, I remember when I went to her house for the first time. And before I went for the first time, I was kind of like hesitant on it, not because I knew she was toxic. I did not know she was toxic at all. I was hesitant because, like I said, I was still dealing with my own issues, and I was kind of like, dang, like, this happening so fast, like, you know what I'm saying? I was kind of like dodging her, like, oh, I gotta work. And it's crazy because they say borderline women like that. They like a bad boy, or they like somebody who, like, don't pay them no mind, because I guess that's how their dad is. Because she will always say her dad is a narcissist. And at the time, back then, before I started doing research 5 to 6 years later, I did not know what narcissism was. I didn't know what a narcissist was. I just thought it was a cocky person. So I'm just like, okay, your dad's a narcissist, okay. So I just brushed it off. So yeah, so we relating on our situation, and yeah, so we clicked real fast, and then I remember, so I finally went to her house after like beating around the bush, keep telling her I'm busy. Finally get to her house, and when I get to her house, like, I'm not used to girls just let me in that easy, but she like just let me in her house. And I'm like, you gonna just let me come in your house, whatever the case may be? Like, her family was very like, her mom didn't like me at first, but her family was like real lackadaisical, but also like very blunt and rude, and it was weird. So like, yeah, her and her mom had like a very toxic relationship with each other, which I'm learning now that borderlines do that. Like, they were best friends, but they hated each other. They talked trash about each other to coworkers and then stuff like that. And it was crazy. So she let me in her house, and everything moved fast. That's when the love bombing started. We wasn't even dating yet. And then that's when, like, she came over to my house, and we slept together really fast. And everything was just going so fast. And then she wanted me to date her. She was like, you're not going to ask me out. And at the time, like I said, I was depressed, and I was looking for, like, a partner, kind of. But it went so fast that I vividly remember being on her porch, and she dressed up in a nice outfit. And yeah, she looked nice and stuff like that. But now I'm really not a surface level person, meaning looks is not the biggest thing ever. Which I do like looks. I love beautiful women and stuff like that. But my point is, you can be as cute as possible. You can be beautiful, but if you get on my nerves, or if you can be beautiful, but or if we don't resonate with each other, if I can't have conversations with you and stuff like that, it's like, looks and all that. You know what I'm saying? I can have Jessica Alba next to me, but if she get on my nerves, or if I can't have a conversation with her, then Jessica Alba can go in the trash can. But anyway, so this is before the issue started, because I was still being love bombed. So she was mirroring me. So, I'm on her porch. She's in a nice thing. I still remember the video vividly. You feel what I'm saying? Nice clothes, beautiful, whatever the case may be. But I'm sitting there thinking, like, how did I get here? How did I get here? How the hell did I just hit her up, just start talking to her, and now we're dating, and the reason why the love bombing is so crazy is because you be in it, well, at least me consciously, I was in it thinking like, okay, this is wonderful, but something about it was kind of like a Disney movie. It was kind of like, it was kind of weird. It was weird, but I was just like, okay, this is good. This is what I've been wanting the whole time. This is what I've been looking for. But something inside of me knew something was off. But I didn't know it was that off because I didn't know about personality disorders, nor did I know about narcissism. And I think this girl was BPD with NPD traits, or she might have been BPD and NPD comorbid. Because after that mask came off, after the love bombing, so anyway. So it's crazy because another red flag was the fact that she would get in the car with her mom and me and stuff, and she would have conversations, and she would talk about how her ex was so toxic, he was abusive, and he spit on her, and I kept asking her, like, why you keep going back to him if he was so toxic? And she would be like, because I'm stupid, and I would be like, And then she had another ex that, this was the ex she left him for me. But I didn't know that at the time that it happened like that. So basically, she was with this ex, the one I'm about to talk about. And I guess when I messaged her randomly, she's just like, oh, another opportunity. So she just literally left him. Because later on, she told me how she left him. And I was just like, you know what I'm saying? Years later, like I said, we was together for almost 6 years. Years later, she just told me, like, yeah, I was just sitting in the room with him. And I just told him, I don't want to be with you no more. And she just got up and left. After being with him for a year. So I should have known that was eventually type of thing was going to happen to me. Had to discard her. So basically, I was a shiny object for her at the moment, because I remember another red flag was she was sitting there and telling me how she started dating me because I had abs. And I was just like, Oh, she said I had abs. And then another time she told me she started dating me because I had a car and her ex didn't have a car. Now, a lot of girls nowadays in 2022 are materialistic, but it was how she said it. So those were red flags. Then, not only that, also, I think she was projecting with that other ex when she said that he spit on her and was doing all this stuff. I think she was doing it because this was one of the biggest red flags. She didn't have her ex, none of her exes on her media pictures, but then when I went on her Facebook, I realized that she had so many pictures. But when you go back, she never deleted pictures of any of her exes. So all her exes were on her Facebook. They were just in older pictures. So she got mad at me because my ex messaged me, right? Then I'm like, but you still have your pictures of your exes on your Instagram. I mean, your Facebook, right? So I blocked my ex or whatever, and I'm like, okay, delete those pictures and block your ex since you worried about me or whatever. Just petty BS, you know what I'm saying? And I'm 27 now. At that time, I was 20 when we started dating. You know what I'm saying? We dated from 20 to 25. And right after we broke up, I turned 26. Now I'm 27, but Libra gang. Yeah. So she wanted me to block my ex so bad and not talk to my ex, and then time goes on, and I think we had another conversation, whatever the case may be, and she never blocked her ex. So I'm like, why do you keep harping on me blocking my ex? Mind you, I think she was talking to so many people while we were together still, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if she was, but I think she definitely was talking to multiple people, because just based off of I have a very good memory just based off of certain things. Oh, another red flag was when we first started dating. Like, I'm the type of person that if I message somebody, the message stays there. She will message people and just delete the message. So inside of her inbox of Instagram, she ain't have no messages. No messages. It could have been for her mom, blah, blah, blah. That's a red flag. Nah, you delete all your messages. Nah, something is off. She hiding something. But, yeah, so... And another weird thing about her family, it was almost like her mom was trying to get me to marry her so bad, and it was almost like her family was trying to sell her to me. Like, I remember her brother used to make comments and say she was a hoe and stuff like that. She was like, oh no, I was never a hoe, which I think she was a hoe. I think she was like the neighborhood hoe. You know what I'm saying? And I just so happened to, when I got there, I guess the way I was operating, I was kind of keeping her from being a hoe because it was like her instinct to be a hoe, I guess. I don't know. And there was like, basically like, yeah, this guy's a decent guy, you know, so let's get him to marry her so he can basically get her to stop making our family look bad. Because that's another thing, they were very like bougie, so I feel like they were happy that she found me. In a sense, I feel like her mom wanted me to marry her real bad. She would come in the room like, "You don't get married, whatever." They'd be like, "When you, when are you and her going to get married?" And I would just be like, "Yeah, I don't know." But I feel like the older generation, like her grandma and all of them and stuff, did not want me to marry her because I was black and she was white. Let me just put that in there. So yeah, I don't think they wanted her to marry me. They liked me, but it's like, nah, we want you to marry a white guy, you know what I'm saying, type thing. And, my family really didn't care, but my family is a little off their rocker as well. My family is like the opposite of them in the sense of they're both toxic, but my ex's family was super blunt, and my family is like covert, like they're full of covert narcissists and stuff like that. So they're sneaky with it and pretending like everything's happy and pretending like they're so respectful, but they're really full of shit. You feel what I'm saying? So, but anyway, so the love bombing happened. After the um, love bombing lasted for a while. And then a lot of weird stuff started happening, you know, with her dad. And I almost got into a fight with her dad. And just her brother started acting weird. Like I said, their whole family is full of personality disorders. But so is mine. You know what I'm saying? But it's just levels to it, you know what I'm saying? There's a spectrum for sure. And like I said, her whole family was just like, something was off the whole time, but I don't even know why I was there. Like sometimes I was sitting in the living room like, why am I here? You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was together with her for 5 years, so you think like, okay, eventually something's gonna change. Or, you know, when you're young, you don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we started dating when I was 19, turning 20. You know what I'm saying? I'm super depressed, and it's normal to me because my mom and the rest of the individuals that was around me are disordered as well. So, and then I'm operating in a disordered fashion in a way, although I knew I was different. It's crazy for me to grow up in a family of 6 kids and a mom and dad and be one of the only ones to be not mentally disordered on that level. Now, obviously, I'm still different. So I call myself Josh Different. I'm different in my family, then I'm different in society because I had to operate within that toxicity. And so I'm not perfect either, you know what I'm saying? I might not have a personality disorder like BPD or NPD, which runs in my family and runs in my ex's family, but I still have a lot of issues that I need to work on. The only thing that separates me from them is that I don't have a personality disorder. I'm willing to work on myself. I'm conscious all of my problems that I have, which I have worked on myself a lot within the last year and a half. I'm not even the same Josh that was dating her. I'm not the same Josh that was dealing with my family. I'm not the same person. Like, if I was around any of them again, which I won't be, because I'm no contact with all of them, I would literally, they would have to re-meet me. Like, I'm not the same person. Can you imagine, like, I've been thinking about this all the time, like 5 years from now, I'm probably going to be a completely different person. You know, like I'm going to, like when I'm 30, like I left them at 25, broke up my ex at 25, then I turned 26, left my family at 25. So when I'm 30, it'll be 5 years that I no longer deal with them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna look back like, wow, so much has happened within the time already. Rest in peace to my cousin. My cousin passed away. But yeah, I got way off topic. But yeah, dating her was crazy. So like after the love bombing, certain stuff started acting weird. Like when my cousin died, they were kind of like, "Dang, Josh, you keep losing people," type thing. Like it was like a joke to them because they didn't have no empathy. And then the mom would say, "We have a crazy family." She would keep saying it all weird. Or so my ex had another friend who I think is a narcissist, not a BPD, and we would go to like family events and she would tell the other family members or even tell me like, yeah, her friend is just like her. And she would say it just like that. She's just like her. And I'm like, because she knows her daughter's disorder, whatever. And then another red flag was the fact that they had this one uncle that stayed away from the family. He stayed away. He stayed away from the family because he knows their disorder. But he's not gonna tell me that. Oh, and then the one aunt, when I first started dating her, is like, she's like, "Are you gonna treat this one right?" Talking to my ex, and I was kind of looking like, "What the heck? How, you hear all these red flags? How did I miss all of these red flags?" You feel what I'm saying? So so I feel like she started to devalue me, because that's the last stage. She started to devalue me multiple times, and we would break up. So every time we broke up, I broke up with her. The only difference was the last time we broke up, I tried to go back and she said no. She literally texted me no. I was just like, yeah, let's try to work on this. And it was just because of the trauma bond. And I did care for her a lot. I did love her, but she obviously didn't love me because she moved on super fast. Like, either she was already talking to the guy, which she probably was, or I caught her off guard because one of my friends seen her on a dating app. So I hopped on a dating app and I messaged her on the dating app like, yo, I try to be petty. I was like, good luck to be petty. But that's another thing. During the discard, I didn't know it was a discard, but I didn't know she was devaluing me. But which I texted her mom now. I'm like, yo, to be smart, I was petty. Like I told you, it was like 7 years ago. I'm like, your daughter would devalue me. I was using all the terminologies to see if they would get it. Because, like I said, towards the end, I started to figure her out. And I started to piece things together, and I started to notice because, like, for example, borderlines typically break up with somebody and say that they're a narcissist, or they say that they're emotionally abusive or verbally abusive, whatever, the lies that they make up, you feel what I'm saying? And her aunt did the same thing to her partner that she dated when she lived in a different state. So I started to notice the patterns in her family in general, and I started to notice the patterns with the grandmom and the grandfather that used to marry the grandmom, and then we went around the grandfather, and her uncle was trying to get him to go back around the grandmom, and he's like, no, I'm not going around that crazy bee or whatever. Like, all of that stuff started to click and make sense. Like, obviously, this runs in her family as well, the BPD and the MPD and stuff. It just shows up a little differently, and everything started to make sense. So my dumb ass, right? I messaged her some stuff that I found online, and that basically triggered her. Like, that made her lose her SHIT, and she basically like discarded me and says, never message her again. Did I message her brother like, yo, what's up with your sister? And he's like, yeah, you know how females are. No, that's not a normal situation like that. I've had other breakups before, you know what I'm saying? This is not as simple as you making it seem out to be. And then other red flags was like, we would go on vacations, which we went on a lot of vacations, beach vacation stuff. We would go on vacations, and she would do weird stuff, and I would call her out, and her brother would be like, that's how she's always been, and stuff like that. And I'm like, what does that mean? But I get it now. You know what I'm saying? She's a handful to the family, so they're like, she finally felt a decent guy, too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people was acting, saying, and they were kind of like, how the heck did she find this guy? Like, this dude is a solid guy. How did she find him? It's only a matter of time for them to fall apart. And then they kind of, I think they started to get a little comfortable with me. They started to get a little comfortable with Josh, because it was like, wow, he can handle her. He can stop her from being a whore. He's a solid dude. He's not doing nothing malicious. They gave me the key to their house, which I feel like they don't got no boundaries, so they would have did that with anybody. They probably did it with her new boyfriend. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, it was a crazy situation. Even though I figured her out during the end of the relationship, before I got completely discarded, it still kind of messed me up, because it was unbelievable. And as corny as that sounds, it was unbelievable. No, it was unbelievable, because I didn't know this type of stuff existed. And then it kind of like, took the pressure off the relationship breakup when I realized what happened with my family, the fact that I was a narcissistic family scapegoat, and the fact that my family were scapegoating me and talking trash about me and teaming up with her and doing little sneaky stuff, especially my mom. My mom is the devil. Like, the fact that they were doing that kind of took it kind of went from healing from this toxic situation to now I gotta heal from having to go to no contact with my whole family. So the one thing I can say is everybody that's trying to heal from that, just remember that there's nothing you can do about it. Continue to work on yourself. It's probably best that you did step away. Like, I noticed that when I was in that relationship, it was making me gain weight. I was uglier. Like, y'all gonna think that I'm crazy, but like I'm telling you, my skin got clearer. My smile is brighter. I lost 30 pounds as soon as I left that relationship. And that's on my other channel. I got a video on that. It's mind-boggling, you know what I'm saying, to deal with these type of things in this society. This is spiritual warfare. I just wanted to share that experience, you know, or whatever the case may be. I just wanted to talk about that because it's a crazy situation, and now I live on the complete other side of the United States, and I don't live near no family, no friends, only talk to one person from my hometown, barely, and yeah, I'm basically starting my whole life over, you know. Not basically, literally am starting my whole life over at 27. I've learned a lot about myself. I'm still learning. I was supposed to have a job interview tomorrow, which I already have a job. I was working 2 jobs, but I was just thinking, I'm like, I don't even want to work another job right now. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep working on myself. I want to keep focusing on my YouTube. I have to be real with myself. I'm like, I don't want to. I'm not even going to go to the interview. I have a job right now. I have a full-time job, but I was working 2 jobs, and then I quit one job, and I was going to get another job. But I'll just sit there and be real with myself. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. But, you know, money's still coming in, you feel what I'm saying? And I just want to tell everybody who's going through the situation, everything is going to be all right. Subscribe, baby. Pocket, I'm grown enough to where I won't come upstairs and knock you the fuck out. You feel what I'm saying? Even though I wanted 2 pieces, they not ready for this. I have 2 phones, 2 phones. One for that night and one for that dough. I got 2 phones. Listen, it's your boy Josh Different. I'm different, you different, we different. But the audacity. Listen, when you are an individual who can read people very well, when you are an individual that carries a very positive vibe and you're very genuine, because majority of the population are full of SHIT. What's up with my camera? Yeah, majority of the population is full of SHIT and BSing. You know what I'm saying? You'll get around people who either try to take advantage of your kindness, and sometimes it's not even in like a physical way. Sometimes it's not even they try to get you. They try to do dumb stuff. But the thing is, when you have intuition, the thing is, listen, it's story time. So, you know what I'm saying? When I was on my journey, which I'm still on my journey, but when I was on a different part of my journey, you know, I was living with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that I felt as though it was cool or whatever. So, and I don't care if they say this, cause, but so they pops, right? Was trying to act all genuine, like he even talking about buying me a car, all types of malarkey, all types of bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't paying that no mind. You feel what I'm saying? And they got to the point where I was literally staying in the room like all day. You feel me? I'm staying in the room all day because something was off. You know how you know people, but you don't really know them like that. And then as a chosen one, you know, people either try to steal your energy or they feel some type of way about you, or they might not even be a narcissist. They might not even be a personality disorder individual. You know what I'm saying? They might just have toxic ways of being, or they feel jealous, or they hate you for whatever reason. But anyway, so you know what I'm saying? This individual is supposed to be my friend. That's all it was supposed to be, and I put it that way before I even, was around this person. You know what I'm saying? But this person was going through some situation, and they try to use me to make somebody jealous. And I'm not even on that type of time. I'm just like, you my homie, we cool, supposed to be doing a podcast together. You feel what I'm saying? And they were just on some weird stuff, like trying to use me to whatever. So they pops, right? Like when you chosen, when you been through some stuff, you me, I typically, even if you think that I'm sleeping, even if you think that I'm not paying attention, I never. That's why I said the audacity. Even if you think that I'm not paying attention, I'm always, because of what I've been through, because I'm chosen, because I had intuition. I always see when people be trying to do like weird, dumb stuff. So I'm talking to and I'm trying to stay cordial, but I'm talking to the person that I'm supposed to be cool with. You feel what I'm saying? They pops come up, and he wanted to know what our conversation was about, but like that's none of his business. So I'm assuming he wanted to ask her. So a kid came up or whatever, and they were like, yeah, I'm trying to fix the game. The pops always fix the game for the kid, but in that moment, he's like, "Oh, I never fixed the game. I don't know. Maybe Josh know how." The audacity, bro. Do you know where I'm from? And it's not even about where I'm from, but like, you think I'm dumb? You trying to get me out the room so you can either say something about me, figure out what we was talking about. You trying to young bull me. That's where I'm from. We call it young bull. He try to young bull me. He like, yeah, I don't know how to fix the game, but Josh might try to get Josh out the room so you can talk about me. You feel what I'm saying? And ever since I was there, like, even when the dude, when his girl would come over, the pops girl would come over, I'm listening. Like, everywhere I'm at, I'm in the shower. Listen, I know, no lie, I'm in the shower. I got the window open in the bathroom because they in the yard. I'm listening when they say my name. I heard my name, so I'm listening. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't trust people. I don't care if I'm living with you. I don't care. I don't care if you living with me. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm gonna invade people's privacy, but you talking about me in a public area. You in the backyard. I hear my name. I want to know what's going on. But you know what I'm saying? The audacity. You think I'm stupid? He made it so obvious. Like, yeah, maybe Josh can fix the game. Like, I never did it. Oh my god, I never fixed the game. You fucking clown, bro. Just so I can leave the room and you can. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. But that's like the audacity in general. When you chosen, when you been through some stuff, when you got people that don't like your light, your positivity, you gonna have people do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got people that I used to talk to in my life, and everybody does in a sense. But when you chosen, is a little different. Where they try to play like you dumb, or you ever had like a little. I got my little iPhone 4. You know what I'm saying? I'm screenshotting stuff. I got my little iPhone 4. You feel me? I'm about to use this for my little burner phone. I got this phone now. I got this for my little burner. I'm gonna turn this one on too, so I can have two phones. Two phones, one for that night, one for that door. I got two phones, one for that getting the and but you ever had somebody try to like play you like, bro, you're not about to play me. I know exactly what you're doing. The audacity that you would even try to do that. Don't ever try to do that with me. But you know what I'm saying? You gotta play dumb. See, when I was younger, I used to be naive. But I stayed within that naive way of playing because we have too much toxicity out here. We got too much narcissists. We got too many manipulators and stuff like that. So is my phone about to die? So we don't got no time. Somebody commented on something, but we don't got no time for real to be trying to be a tough guy and trying to big up on people every 5 seconds. I don't. Since I was naive, I still keep that naive front. Just like the narcissist got the front, I still act like I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm not gonna fix the game for you while I'm listening what the fuck you gotta say. You feel what I'm saying? And if I hear you say something out of pocket, I'm grown enough to where I won't come upstairs and knock you the fuck out. You feel what I'm saying? Even though I want it two-piece. They not ready for this. You know what I used to do back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Nah, they not ready for that. But it's not even worth that. Sometimes you just gotta let people know. Nowadays in society, they try to make it seem like if they make you mad, then they won. No, anger is a natural feeling. You know what I'm saying? It is certain situations where it's not worth it. But I'm not gonna let nobody sit here and make me think that if I had an issue with how somebody treated me and how I react shows that either way you don't like what they did. So whether you come, it just shows that you're suppressing your feelings, no different than how we said back in the day that certain individuals were suppressing their feelings, and that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not saying you gotta blow up on everybody, but I'm just saying, like I was saying, the audacity that some people have to think that they could just do little slick stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are way more slick than that. In this situation, he was so obvious with it. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, when you on your journey, you know, just in general as a chosen one, just in general as a genuine person, because like I said, I'm not perfect, but I'm a genuine person. I'm a genuine person, and a lot of people out here are not genuine. And then there are people who, like this dude, he's one of those people who is a follower. You like 50 years old. There's a lot of our parents like this. They codependent. You like 50. Get your stuff together. Stop being a simp boy as a grown man. There's a lot of these grown men out here following these stupid rules or following stuff that's from the past, but they out here being all bold and stuff. Yeah. Try and downplay the young bulls, which a lot of these young bulls knuckleheads, but a lot of these young bulls got more common sense than these old heads. That's why there's a divide between the old heads and the young people. Because you got some old heads who don't even know what the fuck they talking. You're not an OG. You have no intellect, bro. I'm 27, but it's some dudes like 19 with more mind frame than these 50, 60-year-olds. You feel me? Like these old dudes be wildin' sometimes, but they think because they got some bass in their voice and then they've been around for 50 years. What have you been doing for 50 years? The audacity of you thinking that you put in some work just because you've been around for a long time. You could work at a job for 20 years, right? But if you ain't learned everything in the job, you can't be the CEO. How you telling me what to do? I just came here last week and I know more than you know in 20 years. Y'all ain't about to promote me. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. The audacity of people. The audacity, like, listen, the audacity of people. Like I said, when you chosen, when you're a genuine person, when you're doing what you're doing, there's gonna be a lot of people that try to cross you. There's gonna be a lot of people that try to, just do too much. And then they try to play you like you're stupid. And then they'll try, and then after a while, after you done being mad or whatever the case may be, they'll hit you back and be like, yo, how you been? Or you think, oh, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know what I did wrong. Well, I'm gonna let you sit over there and figure it out. I'm gonna let you sit over there and figure it out. You was just being too sensitive. But if it would have happened to you, how would you have reacted? But that makes you strong, though. You ever see the people who be always doing the most? A lot of times they be narcissists or they just be super toxic. They be doing the most. They be trying to be so mean on purpose, and they think that's strength all the time. But as soon as you react, you being sensitive. And that's, listen, I don't want to go 100% left, but people be dying a lot of times, and I be like, hey, I don't know what they did, so I can't even sit here and be like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes, I'm just saying, some weird sound, but sometimes people don't deserve a life because they don't have no common decency. But that's the end of this. It's your boy Josh Different, mind, body, and soul. I'm different, you different, we different. Subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Josh Different. I'm coming back with more story times. You already know. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Josh Different in the building. Y'all see I'm kind of in a different area. You feel what I'm saying? Because I normally sit over there, but now I'm over here. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually got like a tripod set up with my ring light. Not too spectacular. You know what I'm saying? But story time. You feel what I'm saying? I said I was gonna do some story times on this channel, and I got, first of all, I'm 27 years old now. Since last month, you know, Libra gang, you feel what I'm saying? Oh, I'm getting stronger too. You see that? I said, look. I said, anyway, no gym, all sit-ups and push-ups, you feel what I'm saying? All calisthenics. But listen, I'm 27 now, so I got a lot of stories I can tell. I got a lot of stories, some toxic ones. I got some toxic stories, but I got some crazy stories. Listen. Y'all probably watch my channel and y'all probably get an impression that I was in Philadelphia and so much stuff was happening to me and oh my God, poor Josh or whatever the case may be. But listen, I wasn't perfect. I was wilding out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I was dibbling and dabbling in some toxic stuff that I don't no longer dibble and dabble in, or do I? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, but nah, I did wake up to what's going on out here in society, you know what I'm saying? Dealing with spiritual awakenings and narcissistic abuse and realizing people around me listen, it's 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Who vacuums at 2 o'clock in the morning? I swear, yo. I swear they be doing that on purpose, the people upstairs, because who is vacuuming? Yo, somebody was vacuuming at like 3 in the morning the other night. But anyway, let's get to the story time. So anyway, like I said, in Philly, let's keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? I was one of those dudes. I would fight you. I was out there with the ladies. I was with the ladies like, I want to take it down. Woo! Nah, but we're going to get to the story time. How? So, I used to date this chick, right? I used to date this chick. Shout out to her. You feel what I'm saying? But she made me crash my whip. You know what I'm saying? Listen, so, dating this chick. Most of the time in Philly, I didn't do relationships. I would tell girls I don't do relationships. I don't know, subconsciously, I think I had so much trauma within inside of me, you know what I'm saying, that I didn't want to do relationships. Like, it was something about me. It was something about relationships that just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I just was like, I ain't do it, right? So, 2 of my main relationships, I had one with a narcissist, but this other one was another significant relationship. I actually was still talking to that ex on and off or whatever, but she ended up, you know, getting in a relationship, whatever the case may be, having kids and stuff like that. You know, I don't have kids or whatever the case may be, but anyway. So, this ex, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to her because I'm gonna give her props because, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's where I got that I want to take it down from, because me and her, you know what I'm saying, let's just say we were very romantic in a way, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of toxicity within that relationship. But yeah, we was getting it popping. But anyway, so yeah, so we used to hang out and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? She used to come to my crib, I used to go to her crib and stuff like that. Dang, I'm not gonna lie, that was a vibe. So this relationship didn't last as long as my relationship with the narcissist, whatever the case may be. But this relationship, now that I think about it, was kind of a vibe before it got toxic. Like, dang, I just kind of like went back in my mind like, dang, that was That was a pretty cool time, you know what I'm saying? I was making some pretty good money, you know what I'm saying? I remember having my Buick. I had my Buick riding through Philly in my all black Buick, tinted windows, you know what I'm saying? And I hope I can find a picture. I'm gonna post it up on my Buick, me standing in front of my Buick. But yeah, so the vibe was, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, me and her back then we didn't have Snapchat. It was Kik, K-I-K or whatever. And during that time, you know what I'm saying? I'm still like Mac Daddy Josh in Philly, you know what I'm saying? So, nah, I'm with her or whatever. So I was loyal, you know what I'm saying? People was talking, but I was loyal. So I'm with her or whatever. And I forget what the instance was, but I remember hearing the news on the radio. They literally said, do not drive out tonight because it's dangerous. What we do? Well, she had to go to school downtown in Philadelphia. So I had to take her to school, but we kind of got into a little argument getting on the ramp to get on the highway. And, you know, she going crazy, doing all this crazy. Listen, all I remember was too much crazy stuff was going on within the car. The car turned, crashed up on the side of the highway. There was no gate there. We could have went off. Wheel messed up. So I'm already on the highway, so there's nothing I can do besides pull over. So I gotta my wheel messed up all the way to the next exit, right? Which is probably like a couple miles. So people staring at us, whatever the case may be. I'm just mad because like during that time I still had a lot of trauma going on too, whatever the case may be. So anyway, so then yeah, so we get to the next exit or whatever, and obviously I didn't take her to school because I couldn't take her to school downtown because there was too much going on. She used to take night classes. You know, we get into arguments. You know, she went to Wawa, got something to drink, I believe, and stuff. You know, I'm trying to fix the tire. It's so cold outside, my fingers hurt. I'm trying to fix the tire with the little tire iron or whatever the case may be and stuff like that. What always happened was, you know what I'm saying, what happened was we get into a little argument, stuff was going, you know how toxic relationships go. But yeah, we get to a little argument, you know what I'm saying, and yeah, then we patch it up, we talk it up, go back to the crib, I wanna take it down, and then that's how we get over it, and then the cycle continues. But yo, the front of my car was so messed up. I remember I went to go hang out with some of my friends, and I don't care if they watch this, they in my past anyway, and I don't got no bad blood towards none of them, you know, wish them the best, they do what they do, you know what I'm saying, I do what I do. I live on the complete other side of the United States, but yeah, that was a crazy time. Now that I think about it, like during that time, there was a lot of toxicity going on. But when you self-reflect into situations like that, crashing your car, and then I went to go link up with them, and they all asking like, "What happened to your car?" Whatever the case may be. Because like during that time, so out of all my friends, like my whole friend group, I was the first one to get a car because I was so eager. Once I graduated, I'm like, "Yo, I need a car." Like I was hustling. I traveled all the way across out of Philly to the suburbs to this old man house who could have put me in his basement. Met him at the train station. He drove me to his crib. I'm checking out his car. It was for $1,000. Then he just wanted it off his lot, and it also had like some issues. So he brought it down to $600, no cap. Then I still didn't come get it. So he was like, "Yo, if you get this off my lot," plus the brake lines was broke, which you know we eventually fixed that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the brake lines was broke and the car didn't brake, so I went all the way over there and he gave it to me for $300. He went from 1,000 to 600 to 300, and that was a gimme. Got shot. So that was a gimme. So bring it back to my house. I parked at the top of my block, couldn't drive because the brakes didn't work, and then eventually, you know, I got the fix the brake lines and stuff like that. But that's one thing my dad actually helped me with. Outside of my crazy family, but anyway, that's the past. But yo, so anyway, back to the situation. So yeah, my car was all messed up or whatever the case may be, and I actually I actually still drove my car after it was all messed up, and then after that, I ended up getting rid of it because it broke down on the highway, smoking and stuff, and then I ended up going to get a Buick. I ended up going to get a new Buick. Well, it was like a 2008 Buick, but. Yeah, that was a crazy time. Dang, was I still with her after that? Did she get in my Buick? I don't think she got in my Buick. So, I don't think I was with her no more. And then I went to get my Buick. And then when I went to get my Buick, when I had my Buick, and was she in my Buick? I don't know. But when I had my Buick, listen, I wasn't like a player. I wasn't like running around here trying to bang, bang, bang everything. You know what I'm saying? As the camera shakes. I wasn't really out here doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't out here doing too much, but I was out here doing a little bit. I was being young, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't running through everything, but I was having a little fun. But I was loyal when I was in those relationships. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the rumors say. But yeah. You know when you chosen, people gonna have rumors. But yeah, that was a crazy time. Like I just thought of that because I had made a video about something else. But then I thought of that and I was like, no, I gotta sit down and have a conversation talking about how she made me crash my car. And literally, like that time was. I listen. Y'all can judge me all y'all want, but I don't care. That time I had the best sex of my life. You feel what I'm saying? That time. Right now I'm celibate. I don't have sex. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, yeah, I'll play, but that time, but keep it a buck. I had the best sex of my life. That time, but I was so depressed. It was toxic. My life was toxic. I was toxic. I was surrounded by toxic people and didn't realize it. And it's so dope to self-reflect and not only look at how, I talk about all the stuff that I've been through on my channel if you go to my past videos, but to look back on these situations, as crazy as they were, as depressed as I was, I remember working at those warehouses and stuff like that. And it's like, to look back on that and actually be able to pull the positive nuggets out of it, you know what I'm saying? To actually be like, wow, I had some fun. Like, even the little things, like, shout out to her too, because we used to do like small stuff, which I'm a small stuff type of guy. Like, we used to literally go to Wawa, if you know who Wawa is from Philly or the East Coast or whatever. It's like a convenience store or whatever. So we used to go to a convenience store. We should get little subs or hoagies, whatever y'all want to call them. You know what I'm saying? And we used to just go back to the house and chill in the room. We used to eat the sandwiches, talk about stuff, watch movies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we do a little something else too, but like, just the small stuff. I mean, obviously, life is bigger than those type of things. But sometimes when you self-reflect and you look back and you think like, dang, those times are like dope. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, those times are dope. So right now I'm chasing my dreams. Right now I'm focused on healing from my childhood trauma. I'm focused on healing from being a narcissistic scapegoat in a narcissistic family system. Right now I'm focused on healing from, I've realized that I gotta go so deep in my healing because I used to get jumped in elementary school. Dealing with toxic friends, dealing with toxic family. But I do see the path that I took is a beautiful path because I've came so far. And now I can look back on my situations and give y'all story times and pull out the dope nuggets and pull out the fun situations and just, even within these videos, I'm learning more about who I was. And then, it's just amazing, like, just to look back. And I came so far. I was living with my family, waking up to my relationship, waking up to my family, and then, going to live in a dope apartment, pretty much a luxury apartment, and then having 2 cars, and then having 1 car, and then having no car, then having no apartment, moving to Las Vegas, and, living with somebody who didn't really, resonate with me, and I don't know what type of time they was on, let's just leave it at that, and then, moving to Idaho, and then having some situations within Idaho, and then, running into another narcissist, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, this path that I'm on, and now I'm in an empty apartment. Why you thinking all my videos, I got this white background, I'm normally over there, but now I'm over here, but my apartment is empty, you know what I'm saying? I got a refrigerator, my apartment is empty, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how long I'm gonna be where I'm at now, so it's like, that's why I haven't really furnished it. I made my bathroom look cool, whatever the case may be, and I got a bed, obviously, and I got a table, and stuff like that, but, yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be here, so I don't know if I really want to furnish in here, but what I will say is, all the experiences that I've been through, even with me crashing that car, has made me who I am today. And sometimes, based off of what I went through just recently, I look back and be like, dang, I really was going through stuff. Like, that's another video I'm gonna make that the guy was on my side because the devil was all around in Philadelphia for me, you know what I'm saying? The devil was in my family. The devil was in my relationships with friends and partners. The devil was all around me. The devil was in me going to, you know, these jobs. The devil was around in these neighborhoods. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, you gotta have a certain demeanor in Philly. So I used to have the mean mug and I used to be fighting people and stuff like that. But I could have easily went left. I could have easily got shot. I could have easily died with how I was responding to stuff out of ego and how I was responding to stuff out of trauma. You know what I'm saying? So all these situations, like I said, with even crashing a car, I came a long way. Not in chains, but one thing remained the same as Joshua D. Money Gang, and it gave up. It said it's not in chains, but one thing remained the same as Josh Different. I'm different, you different, we different. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all want more story times? I feel like they're gonna come because I could just sit here and talk about it, you feel what I'm saying? And I got so many in my head. I'm 27 years old, so I'm almost 30 years. So that's almost 30 years of story time, you know what I'm saying? We can go all the way back, you know what I'm saying? Feel me? It's your boy Josh Different, mind, body, and soul. I'm different, you different, we different. Okay. So recently I was reading about manifestation and just trying to decide what I really want to do with my life 100%, you know. And I was just thinking about my YouTube journey, and I was talking to my friend Sabrina about when I started on YouTube, and sometimes I forget that I've come a long way, but this video is damn near going to be my life story, so let's rewind all the way back.
It's just how it goes, my thing. If you want a raise, I don't know what you're going to do because I'm not going to give you a raise, okay? Thank you very much. And if you guys want a raise, if you ever worked for J Diesel.
So, my first video was about me being homeschooled.
Like, what?
I was living in Philadelphia with my family.
I got mad.
My family was always very toxic, although to the eye of everybody else, we appeared to be quote unquote well off in our very dysfunctional area, in our very toxic or hood area, or whatever the case may be. We were considered to be the bougie black family in our area, I guess. And to all my cousins and stuff like that, it seemed like we were very put together and, you know, very much better than them. So it caused a lot of chaos and issues and stuff like that. Although that was just a part of the fact that we were raised in a narcissistic family system, and it was just a facade, because on the inside of the house it was a lot of lies, physical abuse, crazy things going on that a lot of people didn't see, but on the outside we smiled and waved, and we made it look like we had things that, you know, we really didn't have. You know what I'm saying? A big facade. But anyway, that goes into, you know, later I started to do music.
Tell y'all what I'm doing. I'm killing, stabbing, grabbing.
J Diesel, and I started to make music. I started to mix and master music at a very young age.
Hello, J Diesel TV and all my fans out there. Yeah, fans. What's up, everybody? I just made a song called "Cause I Am," and to me, I think it's pretty good. The only problem I have is the editing when I'm editing. But anyway, that's not the point. I'm trying to get better at this rapping. So please tell me what you think. Comment, rate, subscribe. Just came out of my studio room. And my studio room's not that big, but one day when I get it all situated in there, whatever, I'm gonna make a tour going inside or whatever.
Like 7. You know, I used Audacity initially. I made a group called SFE with my sister and her friend. And then later I went into, after learning how to edit and produce, I bought my own microphone and I bought a bunch of studio equipment, and I would make my own music, and I started to listen to music. Like, I started to listen to like Cassidy and Meek Mills, and you know, Drake wasn't out yet during that time, but later on I started listening to him. But I started to listen to a lot of lyrical rappers, Lupe Fiasco, King Los, and stuff like that. And I started to become more of a lyrical rapper. My name was J Diesel. And then, you know, I started to, after making music, I started to get into the YouTube game a little bit more, and I would post my video content and I would post my music as well on my YouTube channel. So I had a YouTube channel called J Diesel Show, which is where I posted my first video at that I just recently talked about, and it was called something about being homeschooled. I forget, but I made a video about being homeschooled, and that was literally my first video ever. My first video ever. And so I was posting, you know, music and comedy and mental health stuff and political stuff. You know, I made a video about Martin Luther King.
What's up, YouTubers? Yes, this is a video for me, J Diesel. I wanted to make a video for questions for Martin Luther King Jr. because I was doing schoolwork earlier, and I thought about it. I'm like, I'm bored, I don't got no ideas for a video. So I just said, okay, I just make a video off the top of my head about Martin Luther King.
And I talked about how I wanted to, you know, get featured and become a partner, because I knew people were making money during that time. We had,
I should be making a lot of money because I could be the next Martin Luther King. I had a dream too. I had a dream that all YouTubers become partners and featured. We're featured at last. We're featured at last. Thank God Almighty, we're featured at last. Thank you. Thank you.
people were making money during that time. We had Fred, nigga Higa, Smosh, Kev Jumba. They were all very popular during that time, and you know, I started to make my YouTube back then, and yeah, so I was just making YouTube videos, got a little bit traction. I'm on my YouTube channel a little bit. I used to get a lot of views because I would do all popular content. I remember I did the video where Chris Brown hit Rihanna, and made a video about Michael Jackson and stuff like that. So yeah, but then after that I went on to make other channels. You know, I wanted to become an actor for a long time, but I made my J Diesel TV channel. I made the Two Awesome Bros with my cousin Dion, rest in peace. He was a chosen one. You know, I made J Diesel Show. I made one awesome conversation with my sister, her ex-boyfriend, my old neighbor, and I made a bunch of other channels. The fake television pro. I made a bunch of different channels with different people. You know, I made a movie with all my brothers and sisters and cousins and stuff like that because I wanted to produce at the time. So I was just doing a little bit of everything, making YouTube videos, producing music, you know, making songs and stuff like that. And I fell in love with just creating, you know. I fell in love with creating music, with creating videos, and just how things would come out. You know what I mean? How the video will come out, or making people laugh and just doing different things. And yeah, I did want to act for a while, but my YouTube journey kind of came to a halt as I got a little older, as middle school came, because I feel like my creativity is just naturally who I am, but a lot of my music and videos came from me trying to separate myself from my toxic situation or my toxic family. It was kind of like a coping mechanism. It was a way for me to isolate myself and focus on something that wasn't causing me pain. But that's a beautiful thing, because that means like so much creativity came out of my pain. So I would go in and out of making videos and making music and stuff like that, even though I felt like that was my calling for a long time. And the beautiful thing about that part of life was it wasn't how social media is now. Like I felt like during that time I could really focus on just me. I really never like compared myself to nobody, and that's how I felt like I could be so original. During that time, everybody was different. Everybody was original. Nobody was really copying each other, or like a lot of people nowadays, they botch content, but it's like the same as everybody else. And that's another reason why now when I make Chosen One videos, I like to do it my own way, because I don't want to be like anybody else in regards to how I make content. I like to be original, you know what I'm saying? Even if somebody's thriving doing that, I don't want to be like other people. I want to be me. That's why my name is Josh Different. But yeah, so after the J Diesel thing, I went to a name Jab. I made a mixtape called Nothing But Business under Jab. I made a couple mixtapes on Dat Piff. I made a mixtape with an old friend called Word for Word. And I was really pretty much doing the music thing, but not really making too much content. But I kept going in and out of content. And what really made me step away from my creativity was, I think, eventually I got into a relationship with a narcissist, and I felt like I'm a very defiant individual, so a lot of people around me didn't like the fact that I was going against the quote-unquote grain, or going against the dysfunction within my life, or within, you know, the narcissistic realm that I was surrounded with. They didn't like the fact that I was going against it, so they would attack me for that. And considering the fact that I care for these people and I love these people, I was starting to lean towards, maybe I'm doing too much, or maybe I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I shouldn't be doing that. So my mind kind of started, I was still defiant going against them because that's who I am, but I was starting to tap out of who I believed I should be, you know? And then I started to get into basketball. I went to high school, I played basketball, and during like pretty much high school, I didn't do too much content, you know? I didn't really do too much YouTube. You know, during high school, I fought a little bit in regards to like with the gloves on. If you watch my intro, that is me in high school. That's me like 15, 16, fighting at the park with gloves. And I did a bunch of random stuff, like football coaching, stuff like that. So I was really not tapped into my YouTube or creative spirit until I made the mixtape in high school. And then after high school, I was kind of like lost in the sauce in a way for a while. I wasn't creating music or really content too much for the first year out of high school. Then once I turned 19, I literally isolated myself from everybody in my life, all my friends and stuff. I would go home and I would go straight in the basement. And I was super depressed. And I could barely function at work. That's how depressed I was. And then I ended up creating another mixtape under the name Jab. I forget what the name of it was, but I created another mixtape, isolated for like 7 months. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, I was going in and out of cycles of dealing with my friends over and over. So all of us had childhood trauma, although some of us were far gone mentally. Some of my friends, let's just say they have issues that may not be able to be fixed. If they can be fixed, that's not my job to decide that, but you know, since I study psychology and human behavior and stuff like that, and I'm pretty self-aware nowadays, let's just say these people are beyond toxic, and I would continue to go back around them, but subconsciously I know I shouldn't have been around these people. And don't get me wrong, at those times, you know, I had my toxic ways of being too, because I was always the type of person that would be like, if you do X, Y, and Z to me, I'm gonna get you back, or I'm gonna be petty back. But it got to a point where these individuals just keep doing the same thing over and over. But I separated myself from my friends for about 7 months, and then they would pop back up or whatever, and we would become friends again, and then the drama would start back up. So that cycle repeated itself from like 19 to like 24ish, 25. It was times where we wouldn't talk to each other for like a whole year or 7, 8 months, and they would keep coming back. Still now, they still pop back up. You know what I'm saying? They still try to message me. Some of my friends, you know, after I learned about psychology and narcissism and stuff, some of them got blocked because that's just the reality of it. And over time, you know, like I said, I was dating a narcissist. I was still within my family system, not realizing how toxic it was. Not being as self-aware, and I cut my friends off. I was dating a narcissist. I figured them out, and I ended up texting the person I was dating, and basically like, yo, I noticed X, Y, and Z about your behavior, and then it kind of woke me up. I went through a spiritual awakening. And at the time, I didn't know how toxic my family was. And I was trying to make content as much as possible in regards to YouTube, but it was really hard to because my mind was like confused, because I understood that my partner was disordered before we broke up. And I kind of was like playing with it, you know, having conversations with people that she knew, or her brother, or whatever the case may be, just to confirm it. Like, yeah, like, okay, is this person off their rocker? And it's like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? And so I started getting back into my content, making my music, but I was so depressed. I started to make songs again, you know. Even during that time when I was dating that person, I started to make music on and off. And then, you know, I woke up to my family system, recognizing by, you know, like when you do research and you just pay attention to people's behaviors and you subconsciously know that they're off, and, you know, you have your own people talking about you and you hear them, and, you know, once you wake up, you just get it. So after that, I separated myself. I went no contact from my family system, and I started a Instagram page called JoshDifferent, you know, and that started to get some traction. I was actually doing a fitness page, and then I was like, you know what? I used to make YouTube videos back in the day, you know, and I'm going to start my YouTube channel back up. So I started my YouTube channel back up. Now I'm back on YouTube. Now I'm posting as much as possible. I'm trying to get the plaque. I need 100,000. But it's been a long journey, you know, ever since that young kid, that young bright kid that was, you know, dealing with childhood trauma, isolating himself, making YouTube videos in order to, you know, try to stay out the way. And, you know, it's crazy how far I came. And obviously I've had a lot of pain, which most people do growing up, but the fact that I still have that happy-go-lucky spirit after so many years. Now I'm 27 years old, living on the complete other side of the United States from where I grew up at, with no family. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Excuse me. Living on the other side of the United States. It's crazy to say how far I came, and I would not be here without God. And it's crazy to say how, in a way, I'm revamping my YouTube journey, but also I'm restarting my YouTube journey, and I'm just ready to see what's ahead. You know what I'm saying? And everybody who's watching my channel, This is my story. This is my YouTube story. This is where I'm at right now, 27 years old. It's your boy JoshDifferent, mind, body, and soul. Subscribe to the channel. I'm different, we different.